Hey everyone, I'm Adam, and this is The New Woodworker. Now I've been getting a really good response on my tool reviews, lots of questions being answered, lots of inquiries still coming in, so I love that. So today is going to be another job site tool review. And today's review is on jigsaws. I've been using jigsaws for a long time in construction, not as much in woodworking because, as the name of this channel suggests, I am a new woodworker. But I've been working with wood and trim work for many years. I have been through a lot of jigsaws, most of which I admit have been Craftsman. Now my current jigsaw that I've been using for a long time is this variable speed corded Craftsman. Now if you take a look at that video right there, you'll notice that I've been a big fan of Craftsman tools over the years. I used them a lot when I first started my career. But recently I got my guys onto the Craftsman battery platform, even though most of our stuff is Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita. But the Craftsman stuff has been just kicking. Mainly, take a look at that. The little 7 1/4 sliding compound miter saw is really one of my best. The best, my favorites. And those batteries have been doing really well. They last quite a long time. So I got my guys the Craftsman battery powered 20-volt jigsaw. That's been a good jigsaw. It works well. It is also variable speed, and it has a very nice soft trigger. And that trigger actually is very responsive, and you can get started slowly, you can get started fast so you don't rip the wood, etc. It's very easy to control. Now after I've recently switched back to Milwaukee from DeWalt, I also purchased a bunch of M12 tools. So I have some things at the shop, or I have some things at the office, because wherever I go, I always need tools. Now I have also used many other jigsaws over the years. Now I'm a huge advocate for good blades, because if you're using a great tool with crappy blades, it's still gonna suck. Now some of the blades my guys like are these DeWalt blades. It's always nice to have a Craftsman variable pack. But my favorite blades happen to be these Diablos. I do actually believe that getting the fine finish wood for trim work and getting the scroll cut wood blades, they really do make a difference. The teeth are designed so that it doesn't rip out the wood for your fine finishes. And it does make a difference, it really does. So let's open up this M12, let's see what we've got. So I wouldn't exactly call it lightweight. It's not light at all. It is pretty comfortable. It feels good in the hand. So there's a little line, an arrow in there. Right there. Here's your lever. Take your lever, pull the deck backwards, and then you can, push the deck forward, and then you can turn it and do your angle. And then you have a little arrow in here that lines up to the degree, and then you can lock it in. So right now we're at about a 15-degree angle. That's a pretty good feature on an inexpensive and small jigsaw. Lock it back to 0, and 0 has a notch, so when you find 0, you're in 0. And then lock that thing back in. Again, you've got an LED light coming through this nice piece of clear plastic. This is how you lock in your blade. I mean, the handle's comfortable, the pistol grip is comfortable, and especially if you are, if you have tendinitis, this sometimes may be a little better grip. I kind of like it. I don't know, let's see how it cuts. Let's put a blade in there. Let's do a Diablo. Let's do a Diablo fine finish. All right, we got a blade in here. Let's do some cutting. Let's use this Diablo Fine Finish blade. And the first thing I want to do is cut with the corded, because that's kind of my staple. So let's see how she cuts. We're just going to cut a little 3/4 plywood first. Let's see how that goes. Got some rips, and I went a little slow. I wanted to see how it reacted when I slowed down, started back up, backed it out, and then went back in, you know what I mean? Just seeing how it really responds. Now let's take that blade out of there. Now let's put that blade, oh, got a bent one in there, great. Now let's put that blade in this 20 volt Craftsman battery powered. Lock it in. Woo! I mean, that thing's got, that thing's got torque. All right, let's go, ready? So that thing cuts well, but it's almost like an animal, you know what I mean? It just goes, it cuts, there's no finesse. Yeah, it's an animal, you know? All right, now let's put it into the M12. Now the M12, I like this. I really like this, nice and easy, but it's a very hard lock. I like this specific locking function better than the other ones, much better. Make sure that blade is still straight. Our deck is straight, so let's get into it. Oh, fully charged. All right, let's get at it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Push it through, push it through. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, my. All right, nice and easy. Nice and easy. Okay. Wow. Oh, boy. Woo! Holy moly. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. You could do some scroll work with the little M12 that could. Man, I just couldn't resist. I couldn't help myself. I had to do it. Very clean, very controllable. That impressed me because in the beginning, if you heard me, I was getting a little concerned because it was much more difficult to push this saw through the wood. But it didn't, let me rephrase that. It wasn't difficult to push it through the wood. It never struggled and it never slowed down, but it just doesn't eat through the wood the way the more powerful saws did. It cut through it just fine, just not as fast. The tear through was relatively clean, but the scroll, that's impressive. Now I'm gonna show you what I mean by this. I'm gonna scroll with the other two saws now, and you're gonna see the difference. When I tell you that this little M12 is impressive in that scroll, I mean it. Again, I'm telling you, I really like this locking mechanism for the Milwaukee, for the M12. It's just really easy, very positive to use. Okay, now I'm not a fan of these Craftsman locks here. I don't like that. I have had them fail in the past, meaning with some of my older jigsaws, this locking function did not, it stopped working and the blade would slip out. I mean, we're tight in there right now, but all right, let me show you what I mean. Let's do some scrolling. See that? Oh, okay. Now it already wants to bend the blade. For whatever reason, this saw already wants to bend the blade, and I'm not even through my turn. All right, well. There's my turn. All right. Now, do you see the difference in those two scroll cuts? Look at the finish of the wood, the tear through. What a big difference. And the way that these two saws go through the wood is completely different. It really is. The way that they eat through that wood was very different. Now, the Craftsman has a lot of tear through in the wood at different sections, but in some it's smooth. Now that could have been user error, but the Milwaukee has a much cleaner cut. So all right, let's scroll with the corded. Let's see how she does. Again, well, yeah, using the same blade. It did not bend. It wanted to bend. It really did want to bend when I was making that turn. And this is what I mean. This lock, the spring in here, just isn't responding properly. All right, so I believe it's locked in now. Yeah, there's another thing too. The motor, you got a lot to slow down. Now the motor brake on the Craftsman, immediate. The motor brake on the Milwaukee, immediate. But the motor brake, that's an old tool. Wind up, wind down. You know, that's just how it was. All right, let's scroll. Not bad. We're going to switch to there. That was a nice turn. Let's back out. We're going to back up a little bit and then build speed again. Let's get momentum. All right, well that really wasn't bad. I will say this. I don't know the purpose of this little vacuum chute because everything, all the material comes out in front anyway. Nothing comes out of here. But that wasn't bad. That really wasn't bad. Not a terrible cut. A little bit of tear out here, a little bit of tear out there, but it was more smooth than the battery powered. All right, so there's a comparison in just some 3/4 inch plywood. I gotta say, I am really impressed with the M12. It's not a beast. It by no means is a beast. I would say it is the opposite of a beast, but it's controllable. I was impressed. I was surprised with how controllable it really is and how nice of a cut you can get. Now, I wasn't even using a scroll blade. I was using a fine finish blade. And fine finish is nice, but a scroll blade is even nicer for scrolling, right? And it does make a difference. I can't say there's any negatives of the M12 yet. I didn't feel any. It just did feel like it wasn't going to go through the wood, but it never stopped going through the wood. Now, this Craftsman battery-powered jigsaw, oh my gosh, this is a beast. This would be a beast. And I kind of liken that to the 7 1/4 sliding compound miter saw, which I've got right over here. But as you saw the video earlier, that little saw is a beast for what it is. I highly recommend that saw to anyone. Now, jigsaws are kind of a special category. Not everybody has a use for a jigsaw. But if you're doing some fine finishes, definitely some woodworking and some trim work, it's nice to have it on hand. But I don't think you really need to go spending a ton of money for a jigsaw if you don't use it that often. Now the M12, if you're on this platform, yeah, I'd suggest it. That's great. Great little saw. Now I want to cut some hardwood. I've got a piece of flooring here, some engineered hardwood. And it's messy and it's dirty and it's a yucky wood. And if you've set these engineered flooring, you know what I'm talking about. So let's cut that a little bit. We're doing the Craftsman corded on a piece of yucky wood here. Let's just cut a few off. right. Of course it just goes, just wants to go. There we go. So then when we control the blade a little more, go down to the 0, it does a nicer finish. When we go all the way up to 2, she just wants to rip through that wood, and it does. And you've got the variable speed up here for a fine control. And you've got the lock. So you can lock that thing. All right. Listen, that's a good saw. It's just a good staple saw. I've been using it for years, and it's done well. Let's swap out that blade, and we're gonna do the battery powered. All right, go back to 0. Now, as you guys know, I've been using these saws on the job sites for a long time. So this is just an example for you to see, but I'm going to give you my real opinion in just a minute, so stay tuned. M12, M12, I love M12. What? I don't know. All right, so obviously she doesn't want to just burn through it, but much nicer cut. Again, same blade, not as much power, so it's not just ripping through the wood. Let's see if we can do a little soft start here. Nice. Oh man, I'm not even trying. I'm serious, guys. Yeah, listen, I'm seriously not like trying to sell you this jigsaw. And Milwaukee's definitely not paying me to say this, but that's so nice. I didn't even try. I didn't even try for a nice cut. Let's start on an angle here. Let's do a tough cut. Very nice. Holy sugar, honey iced tea. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, I've seen enough here. Let's get talking. All right, let's talk about this. This corded Craftsman has been with me for a few years, and I say a few, and I mean probably 15. I mean, it's been with me for a while. Obviously now there's really no sense in having corded tools anymore, unless that's just what you're used to or comfortable with, or your budget allows. It's a good tool, but I'm ready to retire it. It'll be in the bag now for my kids to have. It'll be one of their first jigsaws. I'm going to put this in the shop and put it away for a while. Now, the Craftsman battery powered saw. Again, I told you that okay, let me see how I can word this. Craftsman, the old Craftsman tools were of good quality. And I mean, when I got started, all my first tools were Craftsman. That's what I was given by my grandfather and my stepfather. And then I went and bought all my first auto tools there. You know, all my stuff was Craftsman. And because we had a Sears that was local to us. Craftsman tools are great. They really are. They're reliable, they're well made, and now it's basically a rebranded DeWalt. I believe that they are, I don't know if they're owned by one, I don't know, I really don't know. But they're very comparable to the DeWalt stuff in every way, but the DeWalt stuff is just a step up from the Craftsman. Now, let's get to this Milwaukee M12. Oh my goodness, I gotta tell you, I'm really comfortable with that pistol grip. I like that. That pistol grip was very comfortable. Now, many of you know I'm on the list for a spinal fusion. I've got no discs in my lower back, and I'm in an incredible amount of pain every day. And it is really tough just to get through the workday. But I have to support my family, so I have to do this because it's what I know, it's what I do, and it's what I'm good at. and I love it. I love working. I love getting up every day and working and being active and sweating and getting dirty. Like, I love that. And that's just something that's ingrained in me. And I hate not being able to do it some days because of my back and I also have a brain injury, guys and gals. I got smashed by one of my Mason body dump trucks right in the frontal lobe, and I should have died from the impact. Now, I just love working, but I'm always looking for something that makes my job and my day easier. And I think that this little jigsaw is kind of one of those tools. It's not as powerful, it's not a beast, it's not an animal, but it is a little more refined, believe it or not, for an inexpensive M12. Now, I bought mine for $99, tool only. This is all it is. This is what it comes with. No batteries, no case, no nothing. It comes with this, your little instructional thingy in a box. That's what you get for $99. Now, fortunately, I've got a bunch of batteries. Now, as you noticed, we tested this saw with the 3 amp M12 battery, and we used the same Diablo fine finish wood bimetal jigsaw blades for all of them. And those happen to be my favorite blades. If you're on the fence about it, or if you're looking for a new jigsaw, this is a good one. I really like it. I like the way it feels. I love the way it cuts, and I'm very, very pleased. I will be keeping this saw. And if I need something to cut a little stronger, I won't use this. I'll just use a different tool. A lot of the times I use my oscillating tool. Now, that's another review coming up soon. I want to tell you why the DeWalt oscillating tool is pretty much my favorite of all time, and I've used most of them. So guys and gals, that wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button so it propels us deeper into the YouTube algorithm. That allows us to make a few cents on each advertisement that you watch. Oh, don't forget to tap that bell to receive notifications every time I release a new video. So again, I'm Adam, and this is The New Woodworker.